What was that? There is a storm coming up, he said, with his eyes on the dials. And he let the controller know they were hitting a lot of chalk and got clearance to drop to a lower altitude. Jane could see a big airliner flying above them on their left, probably coming in front Europe, heading to Logan or JFK. Their plane continued to bounce even at the lower altitude, and within minutes it grew worse, and Jane saw a bolt of lightning in the sky. Should we land? No, we are fine. He smiled reassuringly as it started to rain. They were over the Connecticut coast by then, and Bill turned to say something to her. Just when an explosion hit their left engine like a bomb, and the plane tipped crazily as Bill concentrated on the controls. Shit! What was that? Jane said hoarsely. Nothing like that had ever happened before, and Bill's face was tense. I don't know. It could be a fuel leak. I'm not sure, he said tersely as his jaw clenched. He was fighting to control the plane as they lost altitude rapidly, and with that the engine caught fire, and he guided the plane down, looking for a clearing to land. Jane said not a word. She just watched as Bill fought to level them out again. But he couldn't. They were listening badly and heading down at a frightening speed as he called into the controller and told him where he was. We are going down. Our left wing is on fire. We are going down. Our left wing is on fire, he said calmly, and Jane reached out and touched his arm. He never took his hand off the controls, and he told her he loved her. They were his last words as the Cessna hit the ground and exploded in a ball of fire. Annie's cell phone rang again just as she was erasing a change she had spent an hour making on the plans. She didn't like it and was delicately changing it back. She was concentrating intensely and then glanced at her phone lying on the drafting table. It was Jane. They had obviously gotten home. She almost didn't answer it. She didn't want to break her concentration, and Jane always wanted to chat. Annie tried to ignore it, but the ringing was annoying and persistent, and finally she picked it up. Can I call you back? She said as she answered, and was met by a flood of Spanish. Annie recognized the voice. It was Magdalena, the Salvadoran woman who took care of Jane and Bill's kids. She sounded frantic. Annie knew these calls well. Magdalena had her number for when Bill and Jane were away. She usually only called Annie when one of the kids got hurt, but Annie knew that her sister would be home within minutes if she wasn't already there. She couldn't understand a word Magdalena said in rapid Spanish. They are on their way. Annie reassured her. Usually it was Ted who had fallen out of a tree or off a ladder or bumped his head. He was an active boy and accident prone. The girls were a lot more sedate. Lizzie was almost a teenager, and Katy was a fireball, but she was more verbal than athletic and had never gotten hurt. I talked to Jane 2 hours ago, Annie said calmly. They should be home any minute. With that, Magdalena exploded in another torrent of Spanish. She sounded as though she was crying, and the only word Annie understood was La Policia, the police. What about the police? Are the kids okay? Maybe one of them really had gotten seriously injured. So far, it had only been small stuff, except for Tate's broken leg when he fell out of a tree at the vineyard, and his parents were there. Tell me in English, Annie insisted. What happened? Who got hurt? Your sister. The police call. The plane. Annie felt as though she had been shot out of a cannon and was spinning in midair. Everything was in slow motion and she could feel herself reeling at the words. What did they say? Annie managed to grind out the words through shards of glass in her throat. Every word she found was a physical pain. What happened? What did the police say? She was shouting at a Magdalena and didn't know it. And all Magdalena could do was job. Tell me, damn it, Annie shouted at her as Magdalena tried to tell her in English.